Yes, it's really a name to chew on. But yes, you continued your exploration of the ground floor. You discovered a seemingly mostly disused parlor in which you fought the fireplace, which took the form of a draconic, head. Um, it spoke to you, asking that perhaps you seek to restore the light to this place and save the knights from their delusions. You also discovered a rather injured and rather terrified young dusk elf, Savid. He's a spry 190 years young, this guy. Um, but he's willing to help you all out in exploring. You did save his life after all, and he's been doing his best to hold the line in this hallway after all of you were cut off from each other by a slab of seemingly magically conjured stone that rose, pinning both Ralmir and Ayako Bachi in with a number of phantom warriors of some sort, seemingly remnants of the old order. Narlug also tripped over another spectral, elemental, ghostly, hard to say, dragon. A little sort of sooty looking thing that leapt out of the fireplace in this bedroom to the right. Um, Seeming to want no real business with him, it has taken off fleeing down the hall and headed up the stairs, but Narlug may need to pivot and stop giving chase and save Irina here, who, as we ended last session, the final hit from the Phantom Warriors this turn did break the death ward, which means that Irina is currently at 1 HP and has at least one more baddie directly next to her. We will pick up at the end of the initiative order, where this little apparition continues to flap its way, coughing madly and leaving streaks of soot and sparks as it flees up the spiral staircase away from you, Narlug, to the
I'm feeling I can't let this thing go, dude. He's gonna bring some trouble with him. Fuck it.
It does seem that it has been trying to just flee from you. I think I described this last time too. Rather than seeming like it has a plan, it has been behaving more like a startled cat or something that just kind of like shrieked and tried to bolt. But it's up to you whether or not you wish to give chase, as, like I said, it just moves fully up the staircase as it goes. And you lose sight of it, but it is now your turn.
I assume it wants to reignite itself in the other fireplace.
Possibly. That was down, though. It's headed up.
Oh, well, fuck it.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Narlug's gonna move over Mer.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, what can we fuck this dude up with?
And again, you see like Irina's like barely hanging on. She's still got the shield up, but like looks real rough. And Savid looks horrified, but you see his attention is still at the ceiling, where all of the actual spirits that were sent fleeing from Ervir have headed towards the ceiling.
Make it count, because we don't have any additional turns before it gets to swing again. Besides these rounds.
I'm gonna try and fuck it up with a whip. So Narlug's just gonna like crack back his hand and crack out Atasha's mind whip.
Sure. It was some psychic nonsense. All right, int save.
Yep.
Where did there? Okay. No, int is a good stat to attack here. It fails. So that means it takes the full 12.
Yep. And it can only make a action, a bonus action, or move. And it gets no reactions.
Okay. Interesting. I'll have to decide what I want to do with that. We will mark it though, so I don't forget. Minus. Whoa.
That's a pretty good spell.
That is a extremely good spell.
Spell's fucking sick.
It combines 3d6 damage with 1 turn of slow as a second level spell with a 90-foot range.
Right? That's really good.
Yeah, that's wild. Okay, so as your spell crackles out against this thing, you can see that it is clearly impacted. Just the, transparent image of this warrior kind of like flickers and stutters. Anything else from you, Narlug?
No, that completes Narlug's turn.
Bullying my dudes. All right. Again, Hayakabachi and Ralmir, you just saw 3 of them head through the ceiling away from you. You're familiar with what Ervir can do in theory, I think, but I don't know if you've seen him turn undead yet, so I'm not sure.
Yes, they saw me turn undead in the coffin maker shop.
Yes, you did. I'm sorry. I couldn't remember who was where in that fight.
And if the ghost could hear me turn undead, then they also could.
And it was another scenario where me and
Yes.
Raumir were separated, getting wrecked by undead, and then Ervir came and saved the day. It's like
That is true.
And they go gallivanting into a sea of undead again.
deja vu.
In which
Those
case,
rascals.
you can probably
Those
assume that
meddling
there
kids.
is at least a little bit of reprieve here. But I guess what I was trying to work towards is, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like you'd know that you've got about a minute, but they may come back. That's only as long as they'll be afraid for.
Right.
So yeah, if you find yourselves in this currently empty hallway,
They may not come back alone necessarily.
I am going to turn to Raumir, and I'm going to, as I'm still kind of bleeding and, just been taking hits this whole time, I'm just going to say to him, I got one shot at this. Pray to Malar. And I'm going to try to use the spell magic on this wall.
okay.
If you're looking for him.
Let's see. Well, and I believe that means you need to hit a DC of what, 10 plus spell level?
Yeah, I forget what levels Swallow Stone is.
5. I just double checked.
Okay. We got this. I'm just gonna post it. I'm gonna do it.
Yep. So 3rd level or lower is automatic.
I'm gonna hover around it. I'm gonna click it.
4th level or higher, make a spellcasting check.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So with your prayer to Malar, do you see this as like a rending of the magic? What are we looking at, like claws tearing this open? What do you see here? Like, how does your dispel magic
I'd
look,
like
you
to
think?
imagine that some type of I don't know if moles are predators, but some type of earthbound creature.
Moles.
maybe a giant worm. Something just comes and digs right through
Those are
this wall.
predators.
I was gonna say moles are predators. They're tiny and adorable to us, but when you're a worm, they're real scary.
Yeah, so the mole's gonna show up and
So
just
just kind of
start
like burrowing through.
burrow right through it.
So we're
Sure.
Those are shy halud.
Yeah, so the wall is eroded by your dispel magic as it vanishes from the hallway.
And then I will let Raumir know. I don't know how long this is gonna last, but we should probably check these rooms before we
leave.
before they come back. I'll go this way, you go that way, and I'll run over here. Use my movement to come in here and see if I can see anything
so you're gonna
worth grabbing.
Let's see, 27. Give me 1 second while I pull that up. I thought I had opened
Sure.
that. You're good to move
Yeah,
in
we were
there,
still on comp.
but yeah, you are still in combat. There is still
Yeah.
one trying to eat Irina.
Your turn is still next.
Let's
though, so you
see.
should be, you'll be alright.
Yeah. No, I was
That is
I was in RP mode.
Okay. This room is littered with the wreckage of ancient bunk beds. 5 dirt-caked windows allow precious little light to enter, and between them are 4 empty armor stands. Empty torch sconces line the walls. It appears to you that this is probably where these spectral figures would have been in life, as though they spent so much time here that their souls were kind of attached to this place, once they did finally pass. You've used your action, but I'll give you like a free... You want to give me a perception?
Yes.
Or investigation, either one.
Whichever one. I think I'm good at both.
Oh, you are. Okay, so as you kind of glance around, I think you catch some smaller details that probably wouldn't be instantly obvious. Obviously, the armor stands are empty, but they're not empty because the armor has been taken. You see scuffs of rust and piles of like fine debris under them. They've been here so long that all of the armor and equipment degraded away, which tells you that like the spirits aren't wearing literal metal breastplates. You just saw them go through the, roof. They probably died here and just the image of the equipment stuck with them. But also, you see signs by one of the bunks of teeny tiny scratch marks in the stonework. Think like somebody crossing out days in a prison
Right.
cell. Not that they were necessarily stuck here, but there are thousands of these tiny hatch marks. An endless posting with an unstoppable foe, Lord Strahd high in his castle. And these knights wanted to stand against him, but for so many years, they made no progress, and the order withered and died.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll note that, and then I'll just hit Ralmir with a clear, and then that's my turn.
Okay, Ralmir.
Okay. I guess I could check out the other side too. Question. Is it possible for me to like do like a dash hill, but while I'm dashing though, I'm like scanning for investigations?
So are you trying to also... Well, I guess, are you planning to run into the room, look, and then run back out and do something else? Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Because it seems like, judging from my sight here, though, it almost looks like it wraps around,
Wraps around. Oh,
like on the top part,
um,
like from the left side, that like
I could
upward, and
see how
then.
you might think that, but if the
Hmm.
window is a little bit wonky, go ahead and take a peek in here. I think because of this barred window here, it's like
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it is just a circular room. I see what you were
oh,
thinking, but I think that's just the
okay.
lighting being wonky out that window. Relmir himself would definitely be able to see this is just a tower room. Like this is a circular
Oh, okay.
part of the tower.
I gotcha. Okay. I guess I really probably don't need the dash for that. Um, yeah, I'm just going to do an investigation check in the room.
Okay.
What
28.
am I? That
I
ghost is still alive, right?
It is. It's their choice.
I just want to make sure because I cannot see upstairs at all.
That
Well,
ghost
And
is still
Nakobachi
there.
just cleared the wall. I was like, hold on,
I'm
what
gonna
are they
need you.
doing up
what
there?
well, after this, my plan is though I'm gonna dash down and go through the wall,
Yeah, he does have
or
a
that
bonus
that
Through the
action.
disappeared.
through the mole hole.
So
I
let's
gotcha.
see.
You got
A
enough
mole
movement to do
hole.
both, and hopefully
28.
not trigger a new trap.
That's what I
So
was
you guys
thinking
have
too.
gotten a similar
Oh,
description of this room before because Webword scouted here, but this is tattered and faded drapes cover the windows of this circular room and empty torch sconces line the walls. Broken bunk beds and armor stands are strewn on the floor. Go ahead and give me your roll for your investigate. Okay. As you kind of scan the room, something catches your eye. Um, in among the wreckage of all of this, you spot a little glint, and I think we can just say you scoop it like as you run by. But what you pull out is a small silver medallion on a string, like a simple leather, cord like you'd wear around your neck. And it does bear a similar image to the portrait of Argynvost himself, the dragon that is in the portrait in the entryway. You would assume this is probably a token that the knights would have worn as like a sign of their order, even if they weren't in their armor. Um, and on the back, remember the language here is a little different, but you kind of squint at it, and I think you can probably make it out. It's common, it's just slightly different common. Um, long may we wait forever if necessary until his will is done, is what's written on the back.
Like $30 and everything.
And that looks like it was scratched in with a dagger or something.
okay, not like imprinted,
No,
but
this is not part of like it was molded with the dragon on it, but somebody scratched like an oath additionally onto the back. And that is,
okay.
says this. Like this.
Until his will is done.
And you note the capitalization of his there. usually a sign of loyalty or leadership among. It turns a generic noun into a proper noun, even if it's not a name. But yeah, so that's your movement, just your standard movement, and I'll give you the perception kind of for free, or the investigation kind of for free there. It's your specialization after all. We'll count that as like an object interaction. So what would you like to do? You've got a bonus action and a standard action.
I'm going to. Because I'll do the bonus action for the dash.
Mhm.
So is it each of these little squares is
Is the
5?
little squares are 5, the big squares are 10.
Okay,
So
30.
Where you are in the
Okay. And then I'm
which
going
actually,
to.
didn't you start here?
Oh yeah, I did. Okay.
So you'd be back where you started.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and where you
then
found that was this bunk here.
Okay. And then I'm going to use my action, dash again.
Oh,
And then,
okay.
and then just so I can, because I can actually see you through this wall now.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to go right here.
Okay. You're gonna filter in behind Savid.
Yeah, just so I can. All right, because that's the
Yeah.
just other
So
one that we.
this is the elf. Irena's here,
Right.
and then the phantom is down here.
Okay.
Phantom just like has a
And,
beam attack. Bam!
10, 15, 20, 25. I'm gonna go behind him just for flanking purposes.
Okay, works for me. All right, then we are up to Savid, who is gonna do his best. I think actually he's going to. Let me make a quick int check for him. Actually, we're gonna go insight. Okay. I think he is clever enough to recognize that Irina is really not in a good way here. And functionally, the way this is going to work is he's going to grapple and drag, if you're wondering how the rules play out here, but he's forcing her to switch places with him, basically. Grapple, move,
Fucking
reposition. So he just kind of like grabs the back of her breastplate and pulls her out of the way, leaving himself kind of open. So that'll be his action and movement. It brings us to Irvir.
I can't see shit.
Yeah,
I
you are
can't see a damn
downstairs.
thing.
It only it
we
only shows me
somehow-
3 squares with this fog of war.
Oh, wait a second, actually. It's all 3 NPCs are on the same...
Oh yes, that's true.
Also, we can put you kind of here to make that easier to see. I don't know why that... I guess because it's an elevation change, but the fact that that blocks off that
Yeah,
hallway
I
when
can't
you
see
step
over
down
the
the
top
stairs
square,
is
huh?
really stupid. I think Rictavio, seeing that this is just a dead end...
I also assume he knows that his death ward is gone.
Yeah. I think he was hoping there was a way up and, like, through. Remember, he's, like, old and decrepit, but he is, like, a famous monster hunter. This man's got, like, a grappling hook to go up and through the window, but he sees the barred door down below. And just kind of mutters to himself, not enough time. And he's going to run back the other way. He's going to full move, so that's fine. Okay. And then we are going to have Irina act. She is badly fucked up, but I think smart enough to realize that she should not dive back in there and should just step back. So she is going to recognize help is probably more this way in terms of healing and move there. And so Ayakobachi, you see her come around the wall and kind of crash into it, like holding her side where she was stabbed. But yeah, Ervir, sorry.
Oh no, not a problem. So I will probably also be full moving. So if I was like here, so let's see.
Yep.
Oh, I gotta zoom in. These are like extra big. 5, 10. Door stuck.
Yeah, I think you closed the
15,
door.
30. Yeah, it's gonna have to be a full move for me then too.
I think actually, technically, he's here. I kind of speed counted, so I think puts you in the square he's in, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't see shit, so that's my turn.
Okay, we're back to the Phantom Warrior.
I assume I can't see onto the terrace anyway.
On his
The
terrace up.
balcony. Yeah.
You can like see
know
the
how tall
very
it
edge
is.
of it. It's like a waist-high railing. It has gaps in it, but
But I
like
can't see anyone for the purposes of targeting with a healing word, so
no,
that
definitely
was the
not.
important
I
part.
think if anything, like you might be able to kind of see the very top of Narlug's head, like approximately here up on the second floor, but that's about it.
That's fine. That's all I got then.
Okay, the invisible, or not invisible, but invisible to you, Phantom Warriors, they move. Then this one, I think, recognizes that it was just deprived of prey, and it is going to multi-attack. It's going to first attack Savid. Ooh, very lucky we do not have actual advantage, because that would have been a crit. AC 13. Okay, so it is going to swing on him, and while he does not die outright, you do see that he goes down, Ralmir, as he drops, struck kind of across the chest by a fairly solid blow there. And he just kind of shouts, and actually, I guess I shouldn't use the X, I should turn him sideways. Shouts and collapses. And the knight is still something of a knight. And due to his chivalrous nature, is not going to just coup de grace an enemy. The second attack is going to come for you, Rolmir. Again, lucky you don't have advantage there. I assume a 9 does not hit you.
It does not.
I will remind you, because we haven't played in a while, you do have a reaction. I don't know if you want to use it.
Oh, right. Yeah,
You do
'cause that
not
did
currently
miss.
have flanking, because he is down, but it did miss you, which I believe means you can parry, if you would like.
What
Or not
is
parry,
it? It's
riposte.
the riposte. Yeah,
Riposte.
yeah. I'm gonna totally forgot about that. Yeah, you can make an opportunity attack.
So it's just going to be a straight roll, no sneak attack, but you do get the full opportunity to just jab him there. I believe a 15 is just barely going to hit, yes. So go ahead and give me damage. Whittling him away. He is still holding on, but definitely like well below half at this point. Oh, 9 piercing. Minus another 5. I will take well below half to very wounded. One more hit might do it here. And then Dragonet is not visible to you guys, but he's going to move. And then we are to Narlug.
All right. We want to fuck this dude up
So
with.
many tabs open already. Okay.
We're just gonna hit him with a good old fashioned magic missile.
Okay.
Ba ba ba.
Blap.
That's what, 3, I think.
Yes, 3 by default.
All right.
7, 10.
Could have been better, but
Uh,
it's something.
Pretty good.
Well, as you flick your wrist with this is child's play, this spell to you at this point. The magic missiles flying out of your palm.
Dude, he's
The
sitting there
first
doing
one
finger guns.
Oh yeah, okay, there you go. Phew. The first one kind of throws him off balance, and the second one you see goes right through his face, and the image of this spectral figure is already starting to fade as the third one goes through like what is basically smoke at this point. And he vanishes as he is slain.
And let's see. I guess Narla can move up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Bam. And that'll be Narlug's turn.
Okay. Fair enough. So, I think you would have heard the shout, Ayakobachi, as Savid was knocked down, if you care to save him, but it is up to you. You see Irina directly in front of you, badly wounded.
Well-
and I know your totem is still up.
Yep, and Yakubachi is interested in saving himself, which therefore helps save all of them. You know, it's not like something I'm going on my way for, but I'm worried about me. So he
Fair
is
enough.
going to run over here with his movement. He is going to cast a first level healing word on myself because I'm still a little bit away from full, and
Okay.
as much as I love you, Irina, we both were born in a field, but I'm not. I don't love you that much. So I'm going to heal myself for 11 HP, and everyone else gets 7.
Okay.
Noise.
That would be
Am I
Narla,
still?
and you are still in the circle, I think. I think you're on the very edge of it.
Yeah, that's the way it works, right? Anybody within that area?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, he's 30 feet.
I have so many.
I used it.
So
Yes,
7,
you are just within.
So 7, I'm going to get a plus 11. And then for my action,
Alright,
I guess
so
I will
Irina will
hold
gain.
a... I guess I'll just hold like an action for an attack. If
And
I see
there's-
something, I'll hit something with a thorn whip if it comes within my range, but I'll just stay ready.
Fair enough. Yeah, there's like a as Savid comes back to consciousness in the hallway. All right, we are to Rolmir.
Okay. Has anyone checked this room over here?
Yeah, that's where the
Narla
flying
stepped in
wraith
there.
thingy
Yeah,
or the little
that
dragon
was
thing
the
came
little
from.
smoky dragon guy came out of.
Gotcha.
Not a very interesting room.
Alrighty.
It had some windows if you want to go, like, see the landscape and shit outside.
Oh man, I'm here for sightseeing. I guess I'll just go 5, 10. This is all the territory. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm gonna do this, and then I can't remember is like hiding. I could. That's a bonus action, right, for me, right?
Hiding is a bonus action for you, yes, due
Yeah.
to cunning action.
Okay, that's what I thought. So, I'm just going to kind of like try to hide like in like this like corner here.
Okay.
Um,
22.
and
All right.
then I'm just going to hold an attack action in case something comes across me.
All right.
Because I have no idea what the hell's happening in this area besides that little room I was in.
That is totally understandable. All right. Yeah, I think they're like you're kind of hidden from anyone coming around either corner, but like anything coming down this hallway, I think there's not really something too good to hide next to you there for you, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But you'll certainly see them with plenty of distance that way. All right, NPCs. We're going to stand up. I don't think he quite knows what's going on at this point. He takes stock of there being no more ghosts, no more Irina, spots you, Ayakobachi, and just kind of gives you a questioning, what do we do now? And Irina is going to move back into the hallway and just kind of also glance around, looking at you, Ayakabachi, again for kind of direction. Where are the others? Rictavio is going to continue to full move. To there. Arvira, I assume you're also just going to full move.
Yes, I should be vaguely around
To
him.
there. And for
Really
ease,
can't see over that top stair? Piece of
no,
shit
because
game.
it's a different map, but I'm going to move you both to here,
Ah.
which is what that spot is.
I
All
gotta
right.
step out and find it.
I'll
And
do
while he... Oh, I still can't see over that top stair. Alright, now I can
Oh.
see people.
Oh, I
Yeah,
waved.
the fog of war ends exactly where I'm standing.
There. Holding Alt and moving your token gives you that slight nudge if you're ever looking to be between squares like that.
Neat. While he's moving, he will shout to presumably everybody. Regroup out front. We're on the back foot, and we need to recover.
Okay.
And I'll fire a healing word over at Irina.
All right.
Just level 1.
What do we got here?
6.
All right. You see that she is definitely still battered and bruised, but seems to be near full-ish health at this point. No, definitely no longer in like the super danger zone.
Danger
she
zone.
nods appreciatively, and seems ready to follow your instruction, but did just take her action. So you guys have probably 7 rounds left until your effect wears off. I'm just going to ask for expediency moving in rounds here, since we're now back to the top of the round. Is the plan to regroup either out front or back in the kind of big open downstairs area? Or what would you all like to do? Because if you'd like, we can just skip to you spend the next 7 turns moving, repositioning, and then have, a couple turns to buff or whatever, rather than having to just go through initiative 7 times. If that's what you guys would like to do.
Yeah, I like the idea of not being around a lot of walls because that
Yeah.
tends to help these guys a lot.
That was my thought exactly. Either A, they can't come outside the keep, or won't, or B, we're removing full cover for them.
Right.
Yeah, I'd say we
Works for
definitely
me.
meet out in that first floor area. Me and Narlock can kind of trail behind. We'll have these two go ahead of us, and even if me and Narlock end up right here, we could always just
Yeah, that's the thing.
bait them down. You know what I mean?
Well, again, you have 7 full turns
Yeah, it's a
until
lot of
that
movement,
wears off.
so-
So I'm totally fine with just saying you guys can move up to 7 times 30 or even 14 times 30 if you'd like. So if you'd like to all be downstairs, I can just move you down there. If
I'm staying outside, so they can't come through a floor, through the walls. They have one direction to come from, if that direction is at least front.
All right, then we will move out to the front area. Just kind of reposition as you see fit. I assume the 2 squishier NPCs will move to the side. Did I miss you, Ayakobachi, because you were moving?
Maybe.
Or are you down here somewhere and I don't see you?
Maybe.
Myself here. I see you.
I- Are you under somebody? No.
I'll just replace them.
Yeah, just go ahead and replace. I don't know how I could have deleted you while just clicking and dragging,
I
but
think I was moving at the same time, so maybe it's roll 20 just went crazy.
fair enough. Yeah, reposition as you see fit. And we'll say you have 2 rounds, maybe even 3, to kind of do whatever you'd like in the interim.
That's not until it wears off, so even if they came at us
Right.
at full
They'd still
speed,
have
it's
to
still
move.
probably multiple turns.
And actually, let's see. I think you lose sight of them because they pass in and out of the ethereal. But yes, I think as this time is kind of ticking down that you're aware of, you're just taking up a defensive posture, Irvir, or
Yes, that will be my intention to
okay.
wait and brace, ask who's injured, and then gauge my timing to get a bless up before I expect to engage them. But I don't think I would cast that until after it wears off, because I would expect them to take
Fair
some
enough.
time to get back to us.
Yeah. So I think let's see.
That would go for
As-
the party too.
Yes. I think you would see the only one that's among the NPCs that is still injured. Savid's hurt, but he's not, holding on by a thread anymore. I know he's expendable compared to the other 2, but just pointing it out. And yes, as you kind of feel your grip slip on these undead minds, there are a few moments where you don't really see or hear anything from them. And after what I'd say another 30 seconds or so go by after you feel the end of your turn undead finish, above the manor, perched kind of floating above the broken edge of the roof, 3 floors up, you see the 4 of them um, hovering over the parapet, looking down at you. Swords kind of still in hand, shield half raised, but sword points down. Not at you, but sort of like at a ready at rest, if that makes any sense. And their eyes kind of just distantly and emptily gaze at the party. And far up above, you hear a scrabble of rubble. As I believe if I do this, not in the chair, of course, but a gaunt, gray-skinned, and yet still incredibly nobly dressed man with a massive, dragon-hilted greatsword slung across his back steps to the parapet. He places one gauntleted hand down, leans over the edge, and kind of with a head tilt, regards all of you just long enough that you see the red embers burning in his eye sockets. Before, with an almost dismissive shake of his head, he turns and walks away from the parapet, and the 4 figures vanish into the mist.
Because I attacked the fire.
Hard to say.
Fire talked to you after that.
I think Rictavio kind of, well, I certainly wouldn't call that a welcoming first meeting. Are we going back in?
Well, I had a ton
No.
of fun. I vote that we go back in. As I start bleeding from the mouth.
Pretty much exhausted my magic power for today. At least anything that will drastically alter the tide of a battle.
All right, Narlug's got some. He's got some grenades still.
I think Savid's still like lightly bleeding. I've heard it said discretion can be the better part of valor. We could always come back after you've had a chance to recuperate. Or, well, you could.
I'm assuming we were dismissed because we were found lacking, although this could just be personification of a mind long gone.
Well,
We did announce ourselves politely.
and they're the ones who did travel.
Right, and that's what he gets us.
A giant wall, so.
There is a part of me that wonders, Rictavio says. Your experience with the one you've come into contact with on the road, well, our experience even, I suppose I did see him. You said he seemed more animated under the cover of darkness, didn't you?
He did seem.
Yes,
Yeah.
although it's hard to say if that was a coincidence or not, as we only have those 2 data points. Or 3, maybe.
He kind of taps a thumb on his chin. Go ahead.
Yeah, once in the day, once at night. That's it, basically, I think. Or at least the same guy.
Suppose potentially that's not enough to draw a conclusion. And I'll admit, while I've dealt with a Revenant or, well, a few dozen Revenants in my day, I don't think I've dealt with any that are quite so, well, long-lingering. It's hard to say if you're right or not, Arvir. It could just be a mind degraded beyond rational thought. Or perhaps they're looking for some sort of specific sign.
That's when I go and show the medallion that I found up there.
Mhm. And I can also remind you of what the fireplace had to say if you give me a second. Let's see. Doo-doo-doo. So you show them the medallion, which again, the back of it reads, "Long may we wait, forever if necessary, until his will is done." And the words that the fire had to say to you were, "My knights have fallen into darkness. Save them if you can. Show them the light that they have lost." Um, and if you mention that out loud to the group, which I assume you're just kind of filling everybody in with both of those pieces, Savid would think, "I've heard there used to be some sort of, why is everybody Irish? I've heard there used to be some sort of beacon here many, many years ago. Some sort of great silver flame that used to burn out of one of the towers. I wouldn't know a thing about how to start it or end it, but, well," and he points at the sort of, gloomy, degraded wreckage of this once grand manor. As you can see, it's not exactly still here.
Is it remnants of it? Or is it like completely gone?
Oh, not the tower, the light itself.
Oh, the light itself.
He's talking like literally,
Oh,
think
I
like a
thought you were talking.
lighthouse.
Oh, okay, because I was like thinking
Yeah.
like the beacon was like falling apart.
Thinking
Just
There
like
not lit.
there
the
is a
fires of
big
Gondor.
tower. Yes, there is a big tower you can just barely see over the crest of the roof from this side. And I will point out, if you guys didn't want to tromp through like the actual manor again, it is open for a couple 100 feet on either side before you hit the woods again. If you did want to like kind of cautiously circle around without going back in, you can get a look at the backside of the manor if you'd like. But yeah, you can see, part of this place has collapsed, particularly the southern edge here. But I think, um, yeah. Uh, if you'd like to kind of scout, you can. I see Ayakobachi is. I found you, or did
Yeah,
you move and
I
then
just
move
deleted him.
back?
I don't know who that was. That
Okay,
imposter,
that imposter, Fakeobachi.
right?
Oh yeah, that was so you could have vision at the party and webword or something.
Yes,
Something
I
I
don't
believe
remember.
that is correct.
Um, well, I am interested in the idea of rekindling a flame, and
Mhm.
if I was gonna join forces with somebody, I'd want to fight, them a few times to make sure they're worth it. Maybe this is more of a test and less of us, upsetting anybody. Maybe they're just like feeling us out, making sure, we can, be strong enough allies to take on Strahd together.
Fair enough. Could be the case.
But I'm pretty sure it's still pretty early in the day. We traveled today, but
Yeah, you're still like, I don't know, it's probably like 11 to 12 a.m. or 11 a.m. to 12 noon, rather.
and although I'm also, going through quite a bit of my resources with Narlug and Ralmir and Ervir's
You're just
prayers.
burning through spells in there,
Yeah, but
Mhm.
trying to keep yourself alive.
but what I'm good at is just summoning a thing, and I got things for that. And if we need to take a rest, I could take a short rest. That would help me get my thing back. But I'm good to just go back in there and start making it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't.
Narlug's dick is hard.
I'm pretty effective even when I don't have spell slots, because I can't heal as much, but I'm keeping some for those drastic moments. With
I
Ralmir
have
stabbing stuff and you using your channel divinities, we should be, we'll do our thing.
one revivify.
Yeah, I got one.
I have no third or fourth level spells. Other than that, I have 2 level 2 spell slots. I have 2 level 1 spell slots.
Yeah.
That is 2 combats where you can have bless. That is it.
Hey, you just throw out bless and start throwing some sacred flames. We'll just let Ralmir and Narlug do the dirty work. We just keep them alive in case they die.
I was saying that is the extent of my combat effectiveness. I we do short rest. I can at least recover one level 2 spell slot with the
Yeah,
Harness Divine Power.
if we do a short rest, so that I can do some hit dice.
Mhm.
Okay, we can wait here for an hour. Maybe let Webward do some scouting while I
Disregard
sit
that
here,
note, by
and
the way.
I could sit here and go into Webward mode, and my eyes go white, and have Webward walk around the place while we sit here for an hour and chill.
Yeah, I'm going to. Okay.
Do you
If we
lose
do-
sense of Yakobachi while you do that?
No, I'm kind of vulnerable when that happens, so you guys
I
gotta
meant
be able
like,
to. But
can you see?
I
Like,
s-
do you have your own
Yakobachi-
hearing? And
Exactly, Yakobachi's mind is in Webward. It can see and hear what
Okay.
Webward sees and hears.
Right. I think you have to touch him to wake him, Irvir. I don't think he
Yeah, I'm like
hears
sitting
from
in like
his own ear.
exactly the body of Ayakobachi is like in like this avatar state, if you will. Like I'm just fucking like just sitting there and I can't really do anything, so I'm just vulnerable while I'm doing it. So that's why I try to do it with the squad around.
so,
Um,
as far as we know, the light from the beacon is gone. We don't know if there's actually something to light up there or not, and if we will find the answer or not in the keep.
Maybe
So
it point us in the
ruminating
right
on that.
direction, you know.
It could. And the spooky guy probably knows.
Yeah, that guy seems cool. I want to meet him.
If he wants to talk to us or not, I don't know.
We could rekindle
you
his
could
flame.
look for him if you're talking about the mounted knight that you've come
Yeah.
across a couple times.
Oh no, not him. The
The red-eyed
noble one.
we
I've
just met.
Oh,
His name showed when you showed us the
Yeah.
picture, but
Vladimir
I don't
something.
see him.
yes. Yeah,
He's in the handouts.
characters
Oh, there he
showed
is.
that yet, but yes, Vladimir.
Vladimir, oh god, it's a dope ass sword.
Since he had the ability to shake his head at us, that means there's some semblance of intellect there.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. I think the discussion of whether or not the beacon could be relit. I think Savid kind of listens, and of course, if you're starting a short rest, he's kind of like got his pack out, like fumbles for a canteen and rations, realizes he has none because he's been here for like a week, and kind of sighs.
Sure.
But you can see him kind of thinking, and it's been a very long time since it was, well, actually a place inhabited by people instead of whatever they are now. But I always understood the beacon as being more of well, some sort of magical thing. I've heard it said by some of the elders that it was something you could feel, even from far away. Something sort of like, well, how you can feel the sun on your back even without actually having your eyes open. He kind of taps his chin. Well, haven't always been the best student when Casimir gets to talking. But yeah, it was something about representing the dedication of the knights and something of Argynvost's dedication to them. He just kind of shrugs.
Casimir probably knows. Yeah,
Oh,
is it even here?
The beacon?
Yeah, presumably if there was a way to do it and it was here, they would have just done it themselves.
Well, I suppose that does make sense. I would guess it probably would have had something to do with that tower. And now that you guys have kind of like had a chance to look, and I'm assuming while you're short resting, you kind of pace this area a little bit. It's not like you have to remain perfectly stationary. And if you back up a little ways, you can kind of see there is a particularly tall tower, not just in the back. It's actually situated kind of, well, really sort of almost straight over where the grand staircase is, but up. And I mean up. The building itself is 3 floors. The parapets extend almost like a fourth. And then above that is still another floor of a tower that rises high, and then a roof that is pointed that extends probably even another 15 or 20 feet above that. And in that, you can see high arched windows on all, well, you can see 3 from this side, but presumably 4 faces of it that look to you kind of how, again, a lighthouse might, where there are pillars to support the roof and to hold the glass, but really it's mostly glass. And given the elaborate crisscrossing of what looks to you like old lead or ironwork that would have held special glass, you can assume that's where it would have been. So many hit dice.
Get that HP back. Need them hit points.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna half back on a long rest.
You get half your hit dice back in a long rest.
I could convert a couple of my 2 channel divinities now that I have after a short rest into first level spell slots for more active detect magic. But that will be like the end of my spells.
You can hold a detect magic for a while, right? It's 10 minutes.
Let me double check. Yes,
I
up
think
to 10
Narlock
minutes.
can do it ritually, or no? I don't. Maybe Narlock doesn't know.
Do what?
Detect magic.
I don't know if he knows
No,
that
I didn't.
one.
Yeah, I didn't take that because
Yeah,
somebody already had it.
Identify. Okay.
You didn't
Yeah.
learn it, or you didn't prepare it.
I need to learn it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can also ritual cast detect magic, but that just slows down our crawl pretty drastically.
Yeah, I'm just saying you can start one and hold it for the 10 minutes as you kind of go back in, I guess is what I'm
Right,
saying.
like we can
you
start
know?
at the end of the rest. You start chanting it up for 10 minutes, and then go in there with it.
Mhm.
We go somewhere specifically we want to go. Maybe that tower.
I need to roll for him because he's short resting. Okay.
Yeah, there's still places like there's places back here I want to check out too.
And his con is okay. You could see Rictavio spends most of this rest just kind of lost in thought. And I think he would look to you, Irvir, at a certain point, and I know you're something of an expert on the undead, though I expect most of your expertise comes on the side of making sure they return to just being dead. But do you have any experience with anything like this? Things that think despite, well, their state? Really, the only thing I've dealt with is vampires, and as you know, they're not quite like this. But it seemed to me that those spirits, what little of them I saw, they had, well, enough of a mind about them for tactics. You don't get that with zombies or skeletons. They just sort of run at you until either you're dead or they are. They were full of rage or hate, but they were still thinking.
Lincoln,
Almost
Lincoln.
more like a ghost, but well, I didn't see any possession.
Real let out a big sigh. I was just a member of the clergy. I wasn't a doom guide. I didn't spend my time fighting undead.
Ah,
I
well,
read about them, but I can't say I have a lot of personal experience when it comes to these things. A lich. He'll kind of say with a shrug.
I don't mean to have misjudged you.
My
You
landlord's
handle
calling. I'll be right
yourself-
back.
No problem. What did he say?
Hey, Ed, what's going on?
He's gonna be right back.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, cool.
You handle yourself competently in combat. I suppose I just assumed. Um, I don't know. It's troubling.
I don't leave here till.
I get the feeling that it's possible we could treat with them, but we're gonna need something that gets their attention, I think. And I don't know what that would be at this point.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
If it was stolen out of their own keep, is the medallion still a viable object?
And he kind of looks over to Rolmir. Well, I was more thinking something with a bit more splash, as it were. That seems mundane in a way.
If you really want to get their attention, I could disguise myself as Strahd.
Oh, and he thinks.
But that's probably not the type of
They're
attention we want.
revenants.
I
They'd
think
probably
that
just they'd probably
certainly
just kill
would
me.
get their attention, yes,
Alright,
but
I'm
I
back.
think they may try
They'll
conversing
probably
at sword point.
That also may piss Strahd off.
Fuck that guy.
Well, yeah, but we're on CCTV. Or whatever the
Oh.
fantasy equivalent is. Wizard tube.
Yeah.
No wizard tube.
Tis one of those things where I assume he always can watch, but I don't
what?
know if he always is watching.
I mean, Bravio
Well-
Boys is a pretty sweet show. I'd be watching that all day.
Well, it's something that's big and flashy. I mean, a fireball's pretty big and flashy.
I got one of
It
those.
sounds like
Just
An
looks at you and
offering?
quirks an eyebrow earlier.
we're
It
talking
shakes
an
his head.
offering, right? Not a show of force.
That's more what I had in mind, yes. An offering
Well,
or
I
something
could.
to remind them of their oath. Something to ground them in the present.
Well, I can change like the color of flame though. I can make it like I could change the color to silver.
Why don't you press a digitation the dragon's breath out front? Some minor illusions make it look like it's doing a frost breath. I doubt we could fix it outright, but hey, that's something. I don't know,
Right.
worth a shot.
Oh yeah,
Just a
or
heads
make
up, I got to pay my rent at 8:30, so I'll have to dip off like at that time.
Okay, it's like 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Well,
Like
that,
physically?
Yeah, dude, he's old as fuck. I pay him in cash. He doesn't like to fucking use electronic shit and whatnot.
doesn't trust
Yeah.
banks.
No,
I
dude, he
got-
wants cash or check, and I don't have checks, so it's cash.
Fair enough.
Yeah, my HOA is full of boomers, and I gotta pay with checks every month.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Fucking old people. I tried catching him on my way home from work, but he didn't answer.
I think Irina would speak up. I do think it's probably a good idea to get their attention with something that would sort of snap them to present. But I wonder if, well, any sort of trickery is a good idea. They seem the sort, if my understanding of, again, the vaguest history that I know of this place, well, it would seem to indicate they were a rather noble order and probably would value being straightforward and honest. If you trick them, I'm afraid that might close the door permanently.
Yakobachi will say, I think the easiest approach will just say that we're here to hunt Strahd, and we heard that they are too, and why don't we join forces and hunt together?
But bear in mind, though, I do speak Draconic, so I don't know if that helps.
Probably would have helped if Argenvost himself was still here, but well,
Yeah, he
it's
was
my
kind of in and out.
understanding he's well been dead for quite some time.
They didn't seem too keen on talking when we walked in.
Yeah, they just started throwing fists, dude.
I only threw fists after they trapped us.
They're the ones that trapped us.
Right. So just don't get trapped.
Well, were they the ones that trapped us, or was the manor itself? Irina says, kind of looking up and kind of scratching her head. As strange as it sounds, I've, well, heard it said that sort of the spirit of a place can be as much of a ghost as the people that lived there.
Mm,
We were technically invading their bedchambers.
yeah, we kind of just let ourselves in.
We announced ourselves. It's only proper courtesy that they have a doorman to greet us.
I mean, what else? I mean, they're just standing around for the most part, though. Why don't they have a doorman?
Door cool.
Well, when it comes to that, I can probably answer. They're revenants, right? They're animated by a particular sense of duty and a mission that they need to continue. I don't think I've ever met a doorman well,
This man's
passion for
serious about
work
keeping the door,
truly
dude.
left in his soul.
Sure, but you could bring that to a conclusion of upkeeping the order or maintaining the keep and thus maintaining the order, etc., etc. Surely it's not so simple tracked as you must do that one task.
No,
mean-
that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that well, there's only a certain number of servants that are likely to make that transition. And well, if they did, they're probably serving the head of the order himself, not just standing and waiting for and he kind of looks over at Savid, once in a century visitor they get.
And those were the same ghosts up top that we're fighting, right?
It appeared to be. Hard to tell. They all kind of looked, I don't want to say genericized, if that makes, like, but
Yeah.
like, being turned into whatever manner of specter they were sapped some of the individuality from them. They looked more like kind of the iconic ideal of a Knight of the Silver Order, or Silver Dragon, rather than fully individual people anymore. Again, sort of the individuality shaved off until only the purpose remained.
Right.
And have you got a trumpet?
No.
And I think the little like snort chuckle would be the actual reaction. I think I see where you're going with it, and it's not a bad idea.
Heralds have trumpets.
Treat it as though
Or-
we're some sort of returning group, or honorable visitors come to ask the order for aid. Not a bad thought.
Which is mostly true.
It's one of those things that's not a lie per se,
The
and
honor's
therefore
questionable.
probably passes the sniff test, though.
Well, I do generally want to ask them to help us, so I think that's a great idea.
We've never
Right.
seen Walmir cast an illusion, right?
No, but I was just about to say, I think Rictavia would turn to you, Rolmir, and say, "You boy," and that boy has a questionable sting to it. Your folk tend to have some abilities along the thaumaturgical variety, yeah? You think you could mimic a bugle or something to that sort?
I can try.
I could try.
Racist old man. He's not wrong, but
Right? He's not right. How'd you know I wanted chicken?
It's delicious.
Look, I didn't write the NPCs. It's literally in his character block that he's a racist.
That's awesome.
That will become relevant later, I promise. Oh god, I said later. Even I'm Irish now. Fuck.
You've got
Squirrel.
a loud, booming voice, Narlock. You could announce us. And Irvir will drop his hood and like adjust his circlet and drop to a knee
Ooh.
with his shield
Like
prominently
displayed.
facing outward. Yes.
Okay.
And probably a little upright as well to show the emblem on his breastplate.
Okay. I like it. I like it. It's smart. All right. So you all kind of take up a, somewhat proper formation, and even Savid kind of shambles into place. But Irina, same thing, stands properly at military attention. Hand on the sword on her hip, shield out. She's not kneeling like you are, but again, kind of as though one back in the ranks. Same thing, Brictavio at attention. Ralmir, you're able to, again, the, sound you're choosing there with your thaumaturgy, I assume you're going for a...
Assuming everyone is going along with this, yeah. I have not heard confirmation from the rest of the party.
Yeah, I'm down.
Darlik's taking some deep breaths, getting ready to yell.
Remember,
yeah.
we're a noble order ourselves. Kind of says through a mostly closed mouth through the side of his lips.
Darlik, noble, yeah.
Yeah, I think that
Darlik's just gonna get okay.
I think that, yeah, that sound rings out across this, expanse of the grounds here. And though you don't initially see any reaction, you would hear a clatter as some of the rubble up above moves in response. And go ahead, what would you like to call out?
Hey, ghost folk, come see my noble party.
I've made a grave mistake.
In character, I assume, Irvir.
Yes. His soul withers as he feels the same for the chances of a good parlay.
I think the actual reaction from Rictavio is a close enough. I hope. And the front doors of the manor do slowly swing open after a few moments pass.
I think we're invited in.
Yes, from the deep shadows of the main hall, a raspy voice, far, far away, and yet spoken as though it comes from right in front of you, rasps. Enter and present yourselves, noble visitors.
Without much room for anything, Irvir will do exactly that. Based on my history roll earlier from last session, do I have any idea how far away would be proper?
Again, I think you'd kind of think like sort of halfway into the room and then taking a knee.
Yes, that is. He would pretty much mimic exactly what he was doing outside.
Mm-hmm. And I think
I'm assuming the rest of the party is joining him.
Yes, Darlik is using a proud strut as he follows.
I was gonna say, at the very least, Rictavio will definitely step just behind you. I think Irina and Savid bringing up kind of the rear a bit. And this figure that you saw the portrait of, Vladimir Horngard, he stands atop the stairs, The greatsword has now been taken off of his back and actually shoved into the stonework. And it looks as though it was quite a clean push, let's put it that way. There's not a lot of rubble or anything, but he has literally planted it in the stairs and stands with his hands on top of the pommel. Fully at like ramrod straight knightly attention. And behind him are two, well, we could call them worse for the wear knights in plate mail. They certainly once were of a noble bearing, but now their armor is rusted and pitted, and even their skin hangs unevenly on their skeletons. You know these revenants have been here a long time, and as one body fails them, the soul finds another to inhabit. These two do not look in the best condition. And yes, Vladimir, with the hands on the pommel, regards you. And after a long moment, rise and state your business, traveler.
He will do so slowly. I guess.
And I think you would know this is kind of where you would go, I am Ervir Hellowbrook representing whoever, here to do whatever, and he would respond in kind with a proper introduction.
Yes. The first half of that. Here to seek aid from the noble order of the Silver Dragon in the destruction of Strahd von Zarevich.
He listens to you, and at the mention of the name, there is a momentary shift as though the two knights behind him like almost can't stop their hands from going to the hilts of their swords, even at the mention of the name. And Vladimir's gauntleted fists close on the pommel of the sword so strongly that you hear the creaking of the metal in his gauntlets. If you have come to free this land from the creature that feasts on the blood of the innocent, know this. There is no monster that I hate more than Strahd von Zarevich. And yet... And he takes his hands away. I, Vladimir Horngard, am all that remains to command this order. And this order is not what it once was. The beasts that haunts this valley, he shakes his head. He slew Argynvost, broke the life of the knight that I loved, and destroyed the valiant order to which I devoted my life. But he has already died once. He cannot be allowed to die again. Instead, we shall bind each other, suffering eternally in this hell of his creation. Whatever can be done to bring him misery and unrest, I will do. But I will destroy anyone who attempts to end his torment.
Do I need to ask about the bind thing, or is that like something implicit I should know about through magical means?
Clarify? Ask about...
He said bind to each other.
Oh, I think you probably would understand kind of an old-timey thing. He's talking about an oath, not a magical effect or a supernatural one. He's just talking about their stories are so intertwined, if that makes sense. He's speaking metaphorically.
Gotcha. There's just such a lack of logic in there that I'm befuddled.
a little cuckoo after 600
Yeah.
years of death grudge. And like, I think seeing you kind of turn this over in your head, there once was a time where this place was visited by people from far beyond the valley. The fog has not been here the entire time that Vladimir has. The Order existed here before Barovia was fractured from the core, right? I think he would know your symbol. And know what Kelemvor stands for. And I think he sees the wheels turning and says directly to you, Ervir, not directly, addressing the group, but straight looking at you. You cannot free me from my damnation, nor would I wish it.
That's an interesting Revenant pact where your condition has no finality. At the very least, the people of Barovia deserve to be free. There are ways through the fog.
You see his attention is on you, but...
Do I recognize him recognizing my symbol? Does he, make a pointed gaze at it?
I think I think it would linger on the emblem on your shield and on your chest.
Shut up, cat. Sir Horngard, as part of your devotion to the Order and these lands, surely we can both agree, at the least, that the people of Barovia do not deserve to live under the thumb of such a monster. However, if they could evacuate Barovia without his interference, that would be acceptable, correct?
His brow furrows for a moment, and you can see him thinking. He closes his eyes and winces, almost as if there's something painful in his memory. Ooh, would he say this? Such a thing has been tried before. In times when the fogs have lifted. When that beast no longer walks these lands for whatever short windows might be bought. Surely, one such as yourself has noticed that there are far more bodies, and as he shifts, you can hear cracking and crunching from this disused corpse, than souls to go around. Unfortunately, Barovia gives life for him to feed on, no matter how many are drawn away. If you wish to try such a thing, I would not stop you. But I do not weigh your chances as very good ones.
Those that possess a soul versus those that do not. Thus far, I've been very distinct to us that we should be able to evacuate those with souls currently present. At that point, I would also be able to ask my order in the assistance of retrieving those other lost souls. In the meantime, we would deprive that I was gonna say devil, but then he doesn't want to offend Romy. Uh that
A hard
beast.
V and everything.
I just nod.
You I got the pass.
You could say it.
No. You can
Oh.
call him a demon, not a devil.
Oh, okay.
That's
That
Fuck
true.
them.
demon. Yeah, they're from a different set.
Yeah.
That demon of his power, of his lands, of any small niceties that bring him any sort of comfort. And in doing so, that would give us the window we desire. It would fulfill the torment you desire.
You see, as you talk, he starts to kind of break eye contact and look down and away. It is.
Also, feel free for him to roll an insight whenever I'm so lying out my ass.
You are lying, but also that's a thing that Ervir would want.
If there was no alternative, or yeah, Irvir that would absolutely be like, actually, that probably is his priority, even though he's supposed to be all like destruction, but he knows that's damn well over his head right now. And that
Right.
getting
That's the
back
thing,
up
like,
makes so much more fucking sense.
yeah, if you view that as a lie, I'll have him roll it. But again, I just listening to that, I don't know if that's the plan, capital P plan, but that does seem like something that would be kind of your understanding of the situation, right? You've seen Strahd just like basically
Punch
show
a
up
hole through a
and
guy. He donut
dick
his way.
around while, yes, he's basically, the few times you've come up against him, seems to be playing with you. Like, you're not sure he's seriously attacked a single one of you yet. And the last time he bitch slapped you, Ervir, he sent you 10 feet backwards and knocked you unconscious.
Yeah.
And so I think that you being out of your depth is like, that's what you do, right? You call a senior member of the order.
The hope is still to, like, give Strahd final death, but that would be a really good consolation prize.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me. Ooh.
So we can get scholars from the order involved and like, all right, everybody, start looking up Barovian shit. We got a lot of plans to make.
I do think this is a thing where, like, he's listening, but I don't know if he's swayed to the point where I might actually ask you for a persuasion here. You've made a good argument. You know me as a DM. I'm setting a DC accordingly.
Sure. I'm all ready to say the word.
Go ahead.
15.
Okay. On the button. I would have said very hard to convince, but again, you've been aware of what he's thinking and kind of sold a way around it. And he gestures idly, like a dismissive flick, and the two revenants behind him stride up the stairs on either side, and you hear them tromp away. He rolls his shoulders again, bones cracking and popping far more than you'd expect from any normal living fellow. And he pulls the sword out of the stairs, and with casual ease, this is like a 6.5-foot greatsword, swings it around and slides it back into the sheath on his back. I will not impede this course of action, but there are few in the Order who maintain this level of coherence. Such a thing would be beyond their understanding. You will find no aid here unless you can return Argynbost to his proper resting place. If you manage that, I fear it may bring them back from the brink. But until then, you have my curiosity, if not my aid. Be gone from this place before nightfall. I don't think you'd like what you find here after dark. And he turns and begins to stride up the stairs. You have time to call out if you'd like, but you can clearly see he's done with you.
Sir Horngard. That was his name.
Yes.
One final question then. Do you know where
Facing away, but listening.
Lord Argynvost's remains may be?
I know not with specificity, but I do know that monster stole them from our crypts, and if I know him, they are set like a trophy in his own.
Very well. We will do what we can to aid Lord Argynvost, to give him proper rest, to see the Order, the Silver Dragon, return to its glory. We thank you for your time in and greeting us. I don't know. You know.
Mm-hmm. And there's just like a brief snort. Of course. It is only the rightful thing as a proper host, is it not? He kind of chuckles darkly. Go safely, Ovir Hallowbrook. Perhaps you and yours will buy us a few days of sunshine yet. And he walks away up the staircase.
Hey, it's Billy Rafool. Check out my new song, Slow, on YouTube Shorts. Your one-stop.
Etiquette
What an
for
interesting
leaving or
fellow.
free to go?
He did say go. You
Yeah,
know.
that's why I didn't know if it's like, all right, Harold has to say the Barovia boys are out of town now.
Either way, what are they going to do? Chase you 15 or 30 feet out the front door?
Yeah, right. In that case, everyone will probably just turn around and like gesture, like usher everyone out. Time to go.
What an odd
Walking
man.
back. Yeah. Well, it was a conversation at least. She just kind of shrugs. I suppose that's better than we were expecting. And you can see there's a clear, like, something that Rictavio has latched onto. And are you guys heading back down the path towards town? Or
Yeah, I think my vote would be we might as well just start making our way back towards Valaki.
Okay.
Unless there's something anyone wants to do on the way.
I will pull you to the world map so you can see. It's kind of midday, so there are places you could get to depending on what your plan would be for nighttime. It's about 2 hours travel. Since you're on foot, you're not with like a slow-ass cart, especially if you're willing to hustle a little bit. You can kind of get anywhere on the western edge within that amount of time. If you're going to spend any amount of like actual time at either the winery or Kresk, you'd probably need to make overnight arrangements.
I'm sure we'd be welcome at the winery easily enough if we asked
Yes.
for it, but
We don't know a lot about Crest. We only were there for a short amount of time.
and
Correct.
they won't let us stay the night there.
They did say that. But if you were to go now, you're on less of a timetable. I mean, we've only got 20 minutes left tonight, so we won't get to that today. And Rictavio has something to say there. But if you wanted to go to Kresk, you'd have a couple hours before you needed to hustle to the winery to spend the night. If you wanted to explore a bit while you're already out of Valaki. And you know that Valaki has several days until you need to be ready to go anyway. I think the last we'd kind of talked about the timetable there was you might kill a day or two anyhow, because you don't want to off Ezek too far in advance and tip the Baron off that something is wrong.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, like a day or two before go time.
Right.
Go, Power Ranger.
Well, I'm down to. I don't know if we learned about. I have to think about what I want to do. I don't know if I want to decide right now. We could definitely
That's
go
fair.
to the west.
I think you're thinking the same thing as me.
Yeah.
McAsh,
Go
get
ahead.
some ass.
It's just like
About
Snarlug's
some
quest.
potential breadcrumbs over at Kresk that we should go pick up.
Exactly, because it's like I feel like with days to use, we should use those to our advantage and like maybe figure out some like of these things that we've learned about Crest. We've learned about the Abbey up there, and the Abbey itself is one of our fortune telling cards. At least I have that in my notes. That
Yes. So the card
Let me
itself.
double check.
the card tells of a powerful
didn't
force
think
from
it was
good and
the Abbey.
protection, a holy symbol of great hope. Look to a place where the sickness and madness are bred, where children once cried, the treasure lies still. The Abbey of St. Markovia used to be a hospital. That's what it says in my notes. I do want to check that place out.
It's the rest of that I don't think you could necessarily make a connection on, unless you do.
It used to be a hospital or an orphanage.
Oh, and an orphanage. Okay. I just know we learned about that, so I put it in the notes.
Yeah.
In fact, I think it might have even been was it Danica or was it Irina that said that seemed like it fit to them?
Yeah, if nothing else, it probably is the best lead we've gotten on it anyway.
And Perez seems kind of dangerous, and you know we could always I still don't know what this. I think we learned about this lighthouse, but I still want to go see what it is because it's just on the map. And
You have not learned about that yet, but something in that direction was making Rictavio act real suspicious when you were walking out this way.
Naturally, when you cross this bridge, you probably could just see it because it's a giant ass fucking thing.
Believe it or not, you can't.
No.
It is on the map, but
it is higher up because the water's flowing downwards.
It's hidden.
Oh, okay.
Suffice to say, sorry. That is one thing that's on there it's clearly labeled on the main map. It's one of the things I wanted to not have a big title over it. But yes, I think now that Rictavio's kind of mentioned it, and he did also mention a name. He called the person who's talking about Relda.
Yeah, his
an
protege.
old apprentice.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got that in the notes too.
Part of our hope was that Argenvolstholt would be a refuge for us, and we were pretty explicitly told absolutely the fuck not.
You were told maybe initially, but once you talk to Vladimir, no. Now it seems like the answer is no.
We got a sweet quest to find some ancient, dragon bones. So.
That is true.
In the same
I imagine
place
they're rather large.
where Bev is.
Well, hopefully Bev is not in the crypt.
Well, in the castle.
But yes. But yeah, I think as you're all kind of debating where to go,
And at least get to our fork.
Yes, and I do want to plant one more thing before we move too far past it, because I don't know how tightly people were taking notes there. There was something he said, something that, well, I haven't heard any mention of from anyone else, but it is important. He said the fogs have listed in the past. He said sunlight once again. I did say a few days. Does that mean something's been able to stop Strahd in the past long enough for people to leave? The fog's part of him in some way, from what I understand.
something to keep in mind, but without knowing more about this place as a whole, be a wild speculation.
Wild speculation, yes, but... Well, I think it's possible that Von Richten has a point there. And she would turn and look at Savid. And then back to the group. I think maybe we ought to ask Casimir about it. He's the only other one, other than, well, perhaps Madame Eva, that's got a real good grasp on the history of this place. And Savid kind of shrugs. I've never heard him mention it, but, well, he's always happy for visitors, and it sounded like you guys have met him before, so can't hurt. And just as kind of a final note before I think we switch out of being in character, and people are free to respond if you want. What it sounds like to me, if I'm being perfectly honest, is somebody got him, but didn't finish the job. It's what happens with a vampire. You finish him, if you don't stake them, you don't chase them down to where they really live. Well, they might appear to be gone, but they always come back. And if people are able to leave, if there's more bodies than souls by a large margin, it might have been kind of what you were suggesting, Arvir. They got some of them out, but not everyone in time. And he rummages, like, reaches inside of his coat, and does have a very clearly fancy wood and silver banded stake. I won't be making the same mistake.
Oh, shiny.
We all get one of those before we go to the castle.
And yeah,
How
with that, I
odd, though, that
suppose.
someone would have the strength to do so and then not follow up.
Maybe they got him and like they died in the process, but they didn't finish him off.
Certainly possible. Or they got him and they didn't understand vampires well enough to really know.
I feel like to get him though, you'd have to understand him because he's just so smart. Unless you got lucky.
Smart. Yes, man.
Wicked smart. He's got that smart part.
You gotta be wicked
strong
smart.
as shit.
Stop those.
You also have to be strong as shit, which means you're probably not an idiot.
I don't know, man. Weightlifters.
Tell that to the level 20 barbarian.
6 intelligence.
6 int in a dream. Let's go, boys. But yes, I think, you know, we'll let our camera pull back here as you head down the mountain with a fork in the road ahead of you. I'll let it be up to you what you wish to do with it, but it sounds like maybe Kresk is on the horizon. And yes, the gloom lingers over Argynvost in the distance, and though you don't see it, Vladimir Horngard watches you all go. And as you finally pass out of view, he returns to his rest. The storm brews over Ravenloft, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find one of those fated things you're looking for next time on Barovia Boys. Are we good for next week before we drop to out-of-character discussion and stuff? Just double-checking before it's...
It should be. Yeah, it should be good.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Do know I'll probably miss the 8th of September.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's a while away. We got time.
Yeah, that's a month away already, still.
Okay.
Who knows? Strahd might be dead by then.
I only might be available the 15th of September, but I will try to be. But for the 11th, I am definitely available, of August, that is, next week. 4:30. What number are we on?
This was 32, I think, so 33 is next week.
33.
Killing it.
All right. Great event. But yes,
Hell yeah.
I had fun today. I was really worried you weren't gonna quite get Irina.
Right, that was
I mean, you guys have Revivify, but that's a heavy price to pay, you know?
on an MTC.
It
Nah,
is.
man.
But I figure if we let her die, Strahd's coming for our ass ASAP.
My
And that's
mind-
the end of the
Probably
campaign.
true.
My mindset was this. Dave had power whipped the guy. So Irina literally could just walk away.
Yeah.
Then
That's
if
a
the
good
guy
option.
if the guy wanted to spend his turn moving towards Irina, he can't attack. So I was like, she's in the clear as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna just do this shit.
You're
I was
not
still
wrong.
contingent on Dave doing
but-
that.
It
And
was
then
after because
also,
I think Dave went before me. He like Dave's turn
Yeah,
was right
I did.
before
well, yeah,
I did.
after, but going into the session, there was the big
Mhm.
question.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
also,
that
same
whip is
thing.
awesome.
You know she could have just walked away without provoking, but she doesn't necessarily know
That's
that.
fair.
All she saw was purple sparklies and the ghost go.
Tentacles hit his doing
"Rah!"
his brain. Right?
Yeah.
But if it came down to it, I would have just reversed my turns and then healed the turn I ran off.
Yeah. No,
Maybe not,
I
'cause I
figured you
dispelled
would have.
magic. But the thing is, I would have been just right there.
Yes. And that's all I mean. Like, the dispel is part of saving her. You opened up a path to get to her, because even if he downed her, like, again, is he going to just coup de grace her multiple times? Probably not. But if you had not broken the wall, it was still a while for Irvier to get back and do anything about it.
Right. And worst case scenario, if she was really hurting, she could always disengage, like Irving was saying. Just get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, she would have run, for sure. But, yeah, same thing. When you're at 1 HP, a stiff breeze is dangerous. But yeah,
So
I
you're
enjoyed
told.
today. Thank you for
Yeah.
playing.
It was fun.
Thanks for running it.
Of course.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
thanks
go,
for hosting.
Hop off, go meet this old ass man.
All right. Good luck with the rent.
Yeah,
Sean.
I will catch y'all later.
See you later, Dave.
Later.
But yeah, I had fun. It's one of those things where, like, let's see, I gotta make a note. Just want to make sure I note down what you told Vladimir. Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, obviously the conclusion there is a roleplay encounter, but you could definitely have pissed him off enough to cause a problem there. It is
Instantly got that fact from his immediate response. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I understand that this is a
Mhm.
combat encounter that I can avoid.
And suffice to say, you don't want to tangle with him.
Yeah,
He's pretty scary.
there was questions I had for him though, but I thought it would be best just to keep my mouth shut.
He's
He had a real big sword,
yeah.
and he seemed like he knew how to use it too. So I was like,
Yeah.
this man has
All I-
nothing to lose.
No, and I think that's the thing, is like he very clearly does not have anything to lose.
Literally too angry
and
to die.
Yes, literally too angry to die. All I'm gonna say is he has 192 hit points, and you don't want none of that smoke. I won't say anything about the rest of him, but
Yeah, I'm pretty
He-
sure his damage matches
he's
his
a beefy
health.
boy. he's a beefy boy.
We could have taken him. Bro, your boy's dead.
It'd be pretty great to get him on our side for the final fight, but I don't know how the fuck we infiltrate Ravenloft Castle and Strahd being cool with it.
So that is something I wanted to talk to you guys about. It's
Because we have a lot of shit going on over there now. It's like we should pen that in somewhere, but how in the living fuck do we like hand wave that away as Strahd being chill with it?
So it's not necessarily. So there are two or three ways you could look at it, right? So first of all, I will point out, I kind of hinted at it in this session, and this is the problem with the mod. All of the characters and everything talk about how, oh, he's always watching, and this, that, and the other. But he's not omniscient. He always can be watching, but who says he's necessarily watching you at all times, right? You are not the only thing on Strahd TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's
He
kind of
flips.
it's kind of like a Santa
He
Claus.
flips through commercials.
Yes. And so,
Commercials.
no, that's not a bad, comparison
Yeah,
there, right?
Oh, they're,
So
he's
they're
you change the
traveling.
channel when
They're
nothing interesting is
they're
on.
traveling. Fuck. All right. What are these guys
Right.
doing? Boop. It's like, all right, we can talk.
I mean,
We're doing something boring.
And
because I
Go
assume
ahead.
it's just him watching. He doesn't have like a surveillance team.
I think you guys might get the feeling that perhaps Rahadin is also capable of tuning in, but
Yeah,
still, that's two, right? And this is a kingdom with, a few thousand scattered inhabitants. So you kind of can look at it two ways, right? Like, one, if there's something more interesting going on, he's probably tuned into that.
Right.
And two, well, there's really three things here. Two, he did invite you to dinner.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do think he did invite us some over there. So maybe we could do like a. Yeah, we came for dinner, but my friend Rammer is sick, and then you just sneak in there and see all the stuff while we distract him.
Oh yeah. See, when I was just inferred that as like inviting us to dinner, though, I just always assumed that we're the dinner.
Hmm.
Well, it depends, right?
That
You'd
wouldn't
probably
be very lordly.
Yeah, so this again goes back to that history check, right? Like
That noble
things like
savage.
the right of hospitality. Yeah, that's a thing. Like you don't the red wedding was offensive for more reasons than because they killed popular characters, right? If you
Yeah, that's
are
Elysium.
at war
Violence
with
isn't supposed to be
somebody,
there.
right? If you're at war with someone, you can still invite them to have a negotiation, and you don't stab each other while you're talking politics.
I would love
And
to have
so,
you for dinner.
right?
It's
So
not
like
100 ways to cook humans. It's 100 ways to cook for humans.
Right.
Oh!
Besides, you get the idea. He probably prefers his humans raw. But yeah, so you could very well just like literally be like, all right, we want to talk, but we claim like, parlay here. And three,
He breaks that shit for Irina, though.
probably. You probably don't want to march Irina in there.
She can't come.
But three, he's also so cocky.
We could use that against him.
I mean, we have so far, just by not fighting him, and just letting us level up and gain items.
My
Shit.
friend Raumer is sick, and he's gonna go around, go through that crypt, find some bones. While we
But I just mean,
wine
like,
and dine.
literally, even if you were to sneak in, he might not think you're worth stopping. Or he
Yeah,
might.
that's always the
he's-
question. Like,
he's
what
sitting
tips
in
him over
front
the
of
edge to making us worth
CCTV.
stopping?
Right.
So I'm just
He could
kinda
literally just be sitting there going, "Let him cook. Let him cook. I'm interested to see where this goes."
How far is Wentworth's range?
Not that far.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like 100
Not
feet
very
from
far.
me. I think it's 100
I'll go
for like the spying
if
stuff. I'm pretty sure it's 100 feet.
because if you get, I guess I would probably have to. You would probably just have to give me a description though, but like have me disguise myself as one of his servants.
That is also maybe a thing, as long as you don't pick a vampire. You probably know that's a bad idea. But I've said it before, right? There's a whole castle there. It's not like just him. There are people coming and going. Someone's got to dust all those fancy chandeliers.
Yeah, it's like saying like some type of worker. I'm just kind of just disguise myself as the worker though, and sneak and steal some bones. It's probably real dangerous to do that, but
I will also point out, you might want to consider the fact that Arkenvost was a whole ass dragon, and a whole ass silver dragon skull is approximately the size of a Honda Civic.
ew.
Sounds like
Bring
some
a
reduce. Sounds like some reduce is gonna be necessary.
Rude.
Yeah, or like, what about a bag of holding? Can it fit in that?
If we reduce it
Probably.
small enough, yeah.
If you reduced it first, right?
Probably
Yeah, I
less.
don't remember what the size of the mouth of a
Yeah,
bag of holding is, but
because
it's
I'm not
bigger than a
sure if like
backpack.
I'm not sure if like a bag of holding is like stretchy.
A bag of holding is like a 10-foot cube of space. Oh, I'd say you could fit a Civic mostly in there.
Yeah, I mean, Civic's like it's not 10 feet.
I'd still need to get one, which you could
Yes.
probably ask Vistani for.
Yeah.
True, you might be able to send out for it. It's probably going to set you back a real pretty penny
But
with
there's-
shipping fees.
But there's also like the one divination wizard we met.
Casimir,
He had some bones he wanted us to find too, and he wanted us to fucking.
you did?
So I mean that might be a double whammy with that crypt. I bet you the same bones are in Strahd's crypt.
Yeah.
I do
And
think.
Bev is there, and we can get her dad's help to get her.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
He's
And
got
also,
some.
speaking of divination,
Well, I
anti-divination
was-
is the thing.
Huh.
You might want
I
to
was
talk
just
to an
looking
expert.
up divination actually, and I wondered because it says a god or a god servants, and I'm getting divinity superpowers, but I don't know if I can contact Kelimvor from here
Directly,
or a god servants.
so here's the thing, right? Probably yes to, like, your prayers are still working, right?
Yeah, I
haven't
just
run
don't
out
know
of
where the
juice
juice
yet.
is coming from.
But you'd probably be under the assumption that, like, anything other than a real big whammy uh ally or a god themselves is probably barred from here. And there are certain things, like, the Akabachi's summoning magic is reaching across planes and
Is that
borrowing
how that
something.
works? I assume it was more like conjuration than
It's a
planar
spirit.
shifting.
No, you reach out for a spirit to inhabit the thing. And because they're extraplanar, that's why when they die, they vanish. They're not really dead; they just get shunted home. And that's also why his spells work the way they do, right? He summons a beast spirit that just kind of takes the shape that he needs at the time. But what I'm saying is, like, a lot of celestial creatures can just jaunt over to another plane, right? But you get the feeling that Strahd probably doesn't want random good aligned celestials popping in and out. The hags are probably fine popping in and out because they're, evil and causing misery, just like Dad likes it. But Strahd, while in his own way, is, he's kind of a demigod in a sense, right? He's tied to this pocket plane. He's some sort of super powerful entity. He can't stop one of the real capital G gods from poking around. Which is why your magic is still working. Well, like, you'd get the feeling rather that, like, yeah, your own attempts at divination probably would work, although there's some fun extra tweaks to magic. But also, like, divine intervention, once you get access to that, probably would still work if you rolled well. Just don't say blimey first, please. Saki say. Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if you were still AFK. I knew you were the only one in here who might get that.
We'll get it.
It's it's such a long video to show you the link, but in Dimension 20, Allie Beardsley, who is the Chaos Gremlin of the group, through a number of stupid means, they're playing a cleric, Kristen Applebee's, and has had a simulacrum of them made that is just known as K2, that is inexplicably British. And there's a big moment. It's like a huge story beat, and Kristen goes for the divine intervention and misses the roll, and then goes, wait, but K2 can also divine intervention. And literally the described action is that she runs up to the scenario that's going on and says, blimey, and hits the divine intervention roll. And so Brennan has a fucking meltdown ranting about how the act of divine mystery that solves this perilous major campaign beat is British Kristen saying, blimey, I quit, and storms off set.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but they announced that the next season of Critical
Crit
Role,
Role,
Brennan's gonna be
yeah.
the DM. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know if I'm gonna
Okay,
watch
yeah,
it, but
the cast comes totally unglued. Let's see.
People seem very unhappy with the last season of Critical Role, so I imagine a shakeup will be good.
Yeah. I've never found Critical Role to be engaging, personally.